is quiet and shadows fall, I'll be beside you whenever you call. When worries weigh heavy and fears take flight, I'll be your strength, guiding through the night. And when the days are dark and heavy on your heart, I'll be the voice to guide you through the dim. Strong walls may crumble, but within you've got the spark. Just turn the key, let light dissolve the grim. Did you think you were alone in your feelings? Strike a match, let your inner strength be seen. Welcome to all things serious. In the depths of your despair, where demons roam, I'll be the hand to hold. You're never alone. When storms rage fierce and winds blow strong, I'll be the shelter in your soul where you belong. Welcome to all things serious.
I was just jamming out to that intro. Before you know it, you're going to hear me sing along with it. A little bit. Thank you for becoming a member. Welcome to All Things Serious. We got Ann's in the house, Shoemaker. How you doing, Ann? DJ Rogue Knox. You know Rogue Knox was singing to the song because she helped write it and sing to it. Sammy G's in the house. Hello, my wonderful hen. How are you doing? That doesn't mean you can leave now because I complimented you. Don't cuss me now. Michelle Johnson, Low 12. Nana's Dragonfly, how are you? Nicola. I hope you had a good day today. Cool Gamer, how you doing? So, I'm pretty sure I've talked about bipolar on here a time or two, right? But the more research you do, the more you learn. The more research you do, the more you learn. But before I get started, I want to say hi to everyone. I hope everybody's doing well. Okay, I went and saw the doctor today. Doctor said two things. Depending on how the MRI turns out, it's either yes for surgery or no, you just got to deal with the pain. So if there's no surgery required, I'm just going to have to deal with the pain. What's going on, Uncle Ray? How you doing? I hope you're doing well, Uncle Ray. So, you know we all have good days and bad days. Sometimes even good months and bad months. Mood swings are nothing out of the ordinary. But for people living with bipolar disorder, intense shifts in mood are much different. A lot different. Night Wolf, welcome, Night Wolf. There's an instinct difference between bipolar disorder and our everyday mood swings, said psychologist Lauren Alexander, PhD. In people with bipolar disorder, episodes of depression and mania are more extreme and debilitating than the normal shifts in mood we all feel as part of being humans. Put a 1 in chat if you know what... Put a 1 in chat if you know what bipolar is. If you know what it is. Uncle Ray, I know I'm tough enough. Uncle Ray. What's going on, Poncho? Okay. Okay. So Nana's dragonfly is in between. She has an understanding of somewhat. All right. So this is for the people who don't understand bipolar 1 and 2. So we're going to talk about it. So the people who don't know, I am too, Rogue Knox. I suffer with bipolar also. But some people have an understanding and some people don't. So bipolar disorder is a chronic mental health condition that causes dramatic changes in mood, energy levels, and behavior. Some people may refer to bipolar disorder by its formal name, manic depressive illness or manic depression. There are four kinds of bipolar disorder. You have bipolar 1, bipolar 2, you have clythomania or a clythomic disorder. They call it clythomania. Okay. And we'll get to that in just a second, what that is. Other specified and unspecified bipolar and related bipolar disorders. I'm going to share the screen. No, it's not split personality, Uncle Ray. That's not what bipolar is. Bipolar is somebody who's had severe mood swings. When you think of bipolar disorder, it's usually bipolar 1 and 2 that come to mind. These are the most common types. Cyclimic disorder is a milder form of bipolar disorder with less severe symptoms. And people with unspecified bipolar disorder experience symptoms similar to people living with other bipolar disorder types, but they don't meet the full criteria. We talk with Dr. Alexander about bipolar 1 and 2 to understand how these conditions are similar and how are they different. People with bipolar disorder 1 have severe lasting episodes of both depression and mania. Between these extremes, you may return to a baseline normal mood state known as euthymia. Euthymia can happen in both bipolar 1 and bipolar 2. Everyone's cycle is different, says Dr. Alexander. Some people rapidly cycle from depression into mania and don't have any sort of baseline, but others do return to a level baseline for some time. Bipolar disorder is usually quite variable in that regard. I love you, Uncle Ray. I love you, Uncle Ray. Okay. People with bipolar 1 experience periods of depression lasting at least 2 weeks and at least one episode of mania that lasts at least a week or that requires hospitalization. I have bipolar 2. Dr. Alexander adds that people with bipolar 1 often have a hard time maintaining significant relationships or remaining employed due to their condition. During the depression phase of bipolar 1, people experience a low mood, loss of interest in most activities, feelings of worthlessness, and similar mood at behavior changes, different from feeling down or sad. Depression is persistent state that can be debilitating. Man, this is rough. People going through this. This is rough. I wish I could help these people. Well, I need help too. I wish I could help everybody and just deal with it myself. I'm a strong person. Well, try to be at least. In addition to episodes of depression, did I miss something? Yeah. Researchers say people with bipolar disorder tend to have more time in depressive episodes than in manic or hypomanic states. You know, when I go to my therapist, what's going on, Midwest? When I go to my therapist next Monday, I'm going to have to talk. Because I'm getting more understanding of reading this stuff about me than I've ever been explained. Because no one ever told me what mania is. I'm just starting to read it, and I'm like, okay, well, I don't have mania because, and I'll explain why. In addition to episodes of depression, people with bipolar 1 experience cycles of mania. Mania is a condition where you have extremely elevated mood and high energy level. You may appear euphoric, irritable, or impulsive. Mania can make people feel invincible. People experiencing mania may take part in risky behaviors like gambling, driving recklessly, indulging in too much alcohol, or using illicit substances. You may experience a break from reality, psychosis. You may have delusions like believing the government is watching you, or hallucinations, seeing or hearing things that aren't there. Some people experience mania may have a grandiose sense of self, believing they could join the NBA, though they have no basketball experience, or that they know the cure for cancer, though they have no medical or scientific training. Manic symptoms can be dangerous, even life-threatening. People who experience mania are often hospitalized during the course of a manic episode. That's because mania can increase the likelihood of risky behaviors that lead to injury. Other times, people experiencing mania may engage in illegal acts and become hospitalized after being arrested. In some cases, people with mania are encouraged by others, like friends or family, to seek emergency medical attention because of their irrational thoughts or behaviors. Oh boy. So I was told that I have manic depression. Okay. Sweet Sleuthy, how are you doing? I hope you're doing well. What is bipolar 2? Bipolar 2 became a diagnosis separate from 1 in 1994. People living with bipolar 2 disorder, also have bouts of depression that last at least 2 weeks, but they don't experience mania. Instead, they experience hypomanic episodes. As with bipolar 1, they may or may not experience a return to baseline mood in between these more intense mood states. People with bipolar 2 most, li- more likely than people with one to hold a steady employment and maintain healthy relationships. As with one, people living with two experience episodes of depression that last at least 2 weeks. Some people with two may experience more chronic and debilitating episodes of depression than people with one. People who live with two don't experience episodes of mania. Instead, they experience cycles of depression and hypomania. Hypomania are similar to manic episodes, but aren't as extreme. You may feel abnormally energetic, happy, and excited. People with bipolar 1 may also experience episodes of hypomania along with depression and mania. Man, I'm learning about my struggles every day. People experiencing hypomania don't have symptoms of psychosis, such as delusions or hallucinations. They may take risks or make hasty decisions, but not to the extent people having a manic episode may. People having a hypomanic episode, for example, may make rational business investments or go on buying sprees or paint their house on a whim. Yeah, that sounds like something I would do. If I owned a house, I'd paint the whole house on a whim. Manic episodes in people with bipolar 1 can be very dangerous and obvious. Hypomanic episodes, on the other hand, don't typically stand out as much. They're not something some people would initially recognize as being burdensome on their lives, so they don't seek treatment for them. For that reason, some people living with bipolar 2 are often initially diagnosed or misdiagnosed with depression, as those symptoms may more likely prompt to them seeking medical attention. Gotta check chat. Smitty, Funky, how you doing, Jason? Gotta check chat. I understand how you feel, Uncle Ray. I really do. But if I could loan you my brain for a little bit, you would understand. Anyway, I still love you. Depression. Bipolar 1. Depression lasting at least 2 weeks. Bipolar 2. Depression lasting at least 2 weeks tends to be longer lasting. So the difference between bipolar 2 and bipolar 1 is basically mania. When you go into a manic episode, that's when you start having psychosis and hallucinations. I want to say it with a G, I don't know why, and may require hospitalization. Boy. Do you have obsessive thoughts with bipolar 2? Oh, Lisa. Lisa. Sammy G, welcome to All Things Serious. Yeah, I'm going to reread the section on hypomania. So I'll go back to where it says, so hypomania episodes are similar to manic episodes, but aren't as extreme. You may feel abnormally energetic, happy, or excited. People with bipolar 1 may also experience episodes of hypomania along with depression and mania. People experiencing hypomania do not have symptoms of psychosis, such as delusions and hallucinations. They may take risks and make hasty decisions, but not to the extent of people having a manic episode may. People having a hypomanic episode, for example, may make rash business investments or go on buying sprees or paint their whole house on a whim and so forth. Manic episodes in people with bipolar 1 can be very dangerous and obvious. I take the same thing, Midwest, for my bipolar. I take the same thing. Okay. Who else? April Tobin, how are you doing? Let's see who else is in here. Okay. So I'm just realizing a few things about me. And it's one thing I've struggled with. And I think I've gotten better with it over time. I have bipolar too. Okay. All right. And I struggle with saving money. And as of late, well, the past couple of years, I've been a lot better because I have more responsibilities. Okay. So with more responsibilities, you got to be more responsible. Now, my uncle Ray can tell you when I used to live down in Florida and I was able to work before I had all these physical ailments. I used to paint houses, and he could tell you I used to make really good money painting houses. He could tell you that I never had a problem, never missed a bill, never struggled. And then these ailments did a number on me. Yes. Um, did a number on me. And I think has made my depression even worse. I'm slowly, you know, and the thing is you can live your life and it's a battle with depression. It's a battle. But all right, let me get back to reading. So let's get to, we already know about treatment, therapy. Therapy is very important, guys. Even if you're not into medication, I really think therapy is very important. Okay. Therapy is very important. Yeah, that's what they were saying, that you have hypomania goes to the mania category. Yes, but it's not as severe, Cindy. It's not as severe. Um, I always tell people, okay, if you don't believe in medication, that's understandable, but find something that will help you. Find something that'll help you. You know, therapy, a psychiatrist, a psychologist. If you don't trust in medicine, which is understandable, there's other routes, other ways to get help. Don't be afraid to reach out for help. Help is always there. It's just got to find out what works for you. So it could be, so Nana's Dragonfly is asking, do you have bipolar as as birth, or does it come on one day? Um, I'm gonna look that up real quick, Nana's Dragonfly, because that's a question. I'm gonna look up. I'm looking it up. Treatment. There's treatment. It never tells you how, you know, what causes it. Okay. Let me see something. Let me ask that question. Okay. So, Nana's Dragonfly, bipolar disorder commonly runs in families. 80 to 90% of individuals with bipolar disorder have a relative with bipolar or depression. Environmental factors such as a stress, sleep disruption, substance, and alcohol may trigger mood episodes in vulnerable people. Not only that, childhood trauma, stressful life events, brain chemistry, family links, medication, substances, and alcohol. Okay, so it's not always hereditary. It's not always hereditary. You could get it from a traumatic event. Um, what causes, so it says, what causes bipolar disorder? No one knows exactly what causes bipolar disorder. Research suggests that a combination of factors could increase your chance of developing it. This includes physical, environmental, and social conditions. Childhood trauma, stressful life events, brain chemistry, family links, medication, substances, and alcohol. Yes, so you're either born with it or something in your life can trigger it. Imbalances in neurotransmitters, chemical messengers in the brain, such as serotonin, dopamine, and neuro, I can't pronounce that word, are thought to play a role. Structural abnormalities in the brain may also be involved. So I think mine was from trauma and alcoholism, drinking too much, trauma and the drinking too much. So that they say childhood trauma. Some experts believe that experiencing a lot of emotional distress as a child can cause bipolar disorder to develop. This could be because childhood trauma and distress can have a big effect on your ability to manage your emotions. This can include experiences like neglect, SA, PA, or emotional traumatic events, losing someone very close to you, such as a parent or a caregiver. Let me go back to this. Stressful life events. You may be able to link to the start of your symptoms to stressful experiences or situations in your life. Some people also find stress can trigger a mood episode, or it may make symptoms feel more intense or difficult to manage. A relationship breakdown, money worries and poverty, experiencing trauma, losing someone close to you. I highlighted the word because YouTube doesn't like that word. Bullied or harassed, including experiencing. There's so many things, environmental. Excuse me, that people go through that could cause bipolar. So not everybody's going to have bipolar. Not everybody's going to get it. It can be a trigger for it. You could have gone through all those things and it could never triggered it, Dana. It's all on how your brain handles certain situations. You remember when you came up here and you talked about when you hit a certain age, you left? And the main thing is you wanted to have a child so you can give all and have that connection and be that mother. That's probably why your brain didn't let it trigger it. You didn't let it trigger it. That's the reason why. Who knows? It all depends. I'm gonna drop the link. I'm gonna drop the link. Jason's trying to get his wife on panel, but she won't. That is correct, Hen. People who suffer with manic suffer the most. What's going on, Nana?
Hey Eddie,
How
good
you doing?
afternoon. I guess I'm just I have a son-in-law that has a bipolar issue, and
Yep.
I want to know. I guess I'm going to ask him when I go up there this week, next week, if he's one, two, or whatever. I wrote it all down, but I'm struggling with um how this happened, how he got bipolar, where did it come from?
The
Because when
traumatic.
he married my daughter, he wasn't that way. And then all of a sudden it just kind of came out. And all the things you were saying, I went through, but I don't, I'm, I'm not going to say I'm fine, but I'm able to cope with it. And I guess that's where I struggle. I mean, I'm listening to you and I love you and I love everything you say because that's why I'm here. And I'm just trying to understand what triggers that. I think I'm almost thinking it's something you're born with. And
Well,
then
it
what if,
can be something you're born with.
I mean, I don't know. I wish I knew more. I wish I knew more about him because I love him so much and my daughter loves him so much and we want to work through this and I'm trying to understand it so that we can keep our family together, you know what I mean? It's just I want him to get on your channel. I'm going to talk to him about that when I go up there so that he can listen to the things you say. And I want, because I know you have a lot of great insight, and I'm hoping that he'll do that. I mean, he does see a psychologist, he sees a psychiatrist, and he's dealing with everything. But like I say, he's going to go through this surgery, and that's why I'm going up there. So I don't want to really put a lot of stress on him at that time. But
So,
he's
like
not.
Rognox said it correctly, right? Bipolar disorder is a complex mental health condition, and its exact cause isn't fully understood. However, several factors may contribute to its development. See, psychiatrists and psychologists are still researching how bipolar came about. They're still studying it.
I'm almost wondering if it's a chemical imbalance. I've seen a lot of people put that out there, and I've thought that myself.
It's an imbalance in the brain, yes.
Yeah.
And
And
also, somebody in his family could have it too.
not everybody has a chemical imbalance, so they can handle stressful situations
Correct.
and get through it and work through it and go through it.
Yes.
So for those people, I love you because that's awesome. But there are people that can't go through that. So this is such a complex situation, and I've
I will
never
tell you
been.
right. I'll
Go
tell
ahead.
you right now. Rogue Knox is a very smart person, and when she's in chat and I'm doing research,
Mm-hmm.
she'll break it down in chat so people can read it and make
Mm-hmm.
it easier for them to understand.
I do listen. I listen to her. She does have a lot of insight. It's just, this is new to me. I've never dealt with this before, but I love my daughter. I love my son-in-law. I love my grandchildren, and I just want to make it happy for them. You know, um, it's just, it's struggle. It's a struggle. And thank you for putting all this out here. Go ahead. I want you to go through with your channel. I'll listen.
Oh, I got to I finished explaining everything.
Mm-hmm.
But I also have the articles. So they said if you experience bipolar disorder, you're more likely to have a family member who also experiences bipolar moods and symptoms. But they may not have a formal diagnosis. This suggests that bipolar disorder can be passed on genetically through families. They call it that there's one bipolar gene. So somebody in his family could have had it and passed it down.
Well, I know my daughter has talked to the parents, and they said when he was little, he used to beat his head up against the wall, lay there and beat his head up against the wall, things like that. And they struggle with, should I have got him help earlier? Why didn't they? And they feel guilty. But a lot back then we didn't know about, you know. I mean, we're in our 60s. Back then we didn't know how to deal with things like that. So then you're raising a child in their 40s. Um, it's hard, you know. But no, I want you to go on. I just wanted to say I guess I'm struggling with, where does this all happen? How does this all just happen all of a sudden in your it happened in his 30s. Nothing really came out until his 30s. I wish I could understand that.
Anything can make it trigger. Who knows?
Mhm. And you're right.
It
And
could be the smallest thing can trigger it. Life, something in life, a life event. Because he got into hypermanic, because he wants to go on a shopping spree.
yeah,
So he doesn't have bipolar 1, he has bipolar 2
okay.
because it's short term. His is not long term, it's short term, it sounds like. It sounds like.
I hope so. Because my daughter's not willing to give up on her marriage. She loves her husband, you know.
Yep.
I think it was the kids that came into life, because once the kids came into life, it really triggered. And I'm thinking that he felt it was just going to be the two of them. I don't know. That's just something I'm thinking about. And
April
maybe,
asked me April asked me when was I diagnosed. When I quit drinking. When I quit drinking. That's when I was diagnosed. When I quit drinking.
yeah, seeing my son-in-law never did drugs, never drank a lot. It struggles me.
Yep.
Struggles me. But I'm willing to listen. If you want me to drop down, or I'll stay up here and just listen. I'll be quiet. I promise.
No, I finished what I was talking about, and you had
Yeah,
questions, and I tried to answer them.
yeah,
I'd love to talk to your
I
son-in-law.
know.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, I love him so much, and he loves me, and he loves his family, but I don't think he knows what's going on in his body. And he just struggles with what's going on in his body and how can he deal with it. And It's just, it just,
Well, I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this. If he gets on the right medication and it helps him, he needs to stay on it if it's helping him. If he's not on medication or giving him other ways to do it without the medication and it's helping him, whatever he's doing, he needs to stick at doing it if it's helping him.
he's on medication, but I don't think they found the right medication. In my
Because I
opinion.
don't ever tell anybody to take medication. I'm saying whatever helps you, helps you. If going to therapy is all you need, go to therapy
But I
and
do
stick
tell
with
my
it.
son-in-law when he's having episodes, he calls his psychiatrist. That's the first person he calls, and he's ready to talk about it. He's ready to get through it. You know,
Yeah,
he's
Sammy G said it could take a while for them to get the right.
yeah, and it's only been a couple of years. I don't know how long it takes, but it just a mama worries, and I do worry. A mama and a nana, but I
If
don't
it's
want to
not
take it.
working, he needs to tell his psychiatrist that it's not working,
Hmm.
and they need to figure something else out.
I'm sure he does, because like I say, he calls him when he has episodes, and
Yeah,
you know he may leave and go and sit in a parking lot, and he's talking to a psychologist or psychiatrist and whoever he's calling. So, um, yeah, it's um, it's not bad episodes. It's just we've talked about it, Eddie. You know,
yep.
it's it's just the things he does, and I just don't want it to get worse. I want, and I know my daughter struggles
It's
with it.
family. It's family.
Yeah, because she's type 1 diabetic and her stress levels are enough than to go through this. And she loves him so much that she's not going to give up. She would not
Yep.
give up in the
H-
world at all.
How they doing now?
He's not working. He has problems keeping a job. Um, she decided to take on full-time jobs, but it's not making as much money as he was making. So there's a stress level there.
The smartest thing for them to do is downsize. Just saying. The sacrifices you got to make in life, you got to make them.
Well, before I let them downsize, I will sell my house and I'll move up there because it's hard for me to explain this, but
That's understandable. You don't have to here.
yeah,
You can tell me
um,
in the background.
they're not living high on the hog. They
Yep.
do have a pool in their backyard and things for the kids, and I want my
Yep.
grandchildren to enjoy those things. So if it takes me selling my house and moving up there and moving in with them, I would do that just so they my grandchildren could have the things they need. You know, it's not that my son wants it or my daughter wants it, my son-in-law wants it, or my daughter wants it. I just want my grandchildren to keep the things they have. And
Okay.
I don't know, is that wrong? Is that wrong of
No,
me to
no,
say?
no. You want the children to have an amazing childhood
Because their
and
house
let
is
them
not
be
that big.
kids.
It has 3 bedrooms. You know,
So one for
the
each
house is
child.
not that big, but what they have outside of the house, my son-in-law built on his own, and that was his job. He built swimming pools and fireplaces outside and patios, and
Oh, so he
He built an oasis there, and when I go there, I always say it's my happy place, you
yeah.
know, because it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. And I don't, you know, I just my grandchildren are adopted. I don't want them to go through, okay, I was adopted and now we're moving and we're downsizing. I struggle with that, you know. I want them to still be in the same place that they were adopted in and happy and their life started.
Yep. That's understandable.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I don't mean to come up here and make this all about me. I'm not doing this.
Nana's Dragonfly, you're a part of this community.
I know. I think everybody knows all about my life. No, you don't. There's more. There's more.
There's more.
Hang on. Hang on. We'll have part 2, part 3, part 4, part 5. But you know what? I'm fine. I'm
And you know what
fine.
I started doing, Nana?
What?
I started turning off live chat replay
Hmm.
so people can't read the comments. So when I go live and if there's people stressed about something and they put it in the comments,
Hmm.
nobody can go back and read it.
That's awesome.
It's called privacy.
Thank you.
And they're all saying we love you, Nana.
Oh, I love
And thanks for
everybody.
joining panel.
Nana has lots of problems. I'm sure you all do. But you know what? That's life. Life is
It
full of
yes.
things. It's just how do you deal with it? And having Eddie to help me, thank you, Eddie. I appreciate you so
And you
much.
know you got my number, so
Yes, yes. I'm good now. I'm good. It's just
Daisy
some days
73.
some days can be difficult. And the day I called
Yes.
you, it was difficult, and you were there, and well, actually, you called me. But it's all good.
Well, I always try to do what I can for people. I always try to.
But when I
So,
go up there, I'm going to try to get my son-in-law to understand that you, and what you can help him with. Because you're not a doctor, you're not a psychologist, you're not a professional, but you've been
nope.
through it. And that's what he needs. And he told me that when he went through all these classes and different things. He said, I just wanted to hear what other people had to say.
Yeah.
And it was all about classes and writing down this and reading these books and trying to learn about this. And he said, that's not what I wanted. I wanted to sit down one on one and hear about what other people were going through. And it didn't
Yep.
happen. And so he dropped out. And that was a struggle for him because he needs to be in a group with people that have gone through this and hear their testimonies so he can say, wow, I've been through this. I know.
Yep. So,
Yeah.
all right, Smitty, you want the link? I'm dropping you the link, Smitty. So thank you for coming up, Nana.
Okay, I'm going to drop down. I'm going to let you go on. Thank
Yes,
you very
ma'am.
much.
And you know how
And
to reach out to me.
like I told you guys all, there's like part 5, 6, 7, and 8. I'll be back.
All
I love y'all.
right, love
Just
you too,
know that
Nana.
Nana's okay. I'm just trying to take care of everybody else.
All
I love you. Thank
right,
you.
Nana.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. What's going on, Smitty?
What up, man? I just want if I don't know if you noticed earlier when I first came in before,
Yeah.
you had that Poncho Sancho in the chat.
Yes.
I deleted him for 24 hours. That's the one that
Okay.
was causing crap in my chat the other day, and he was in Mr. P's this morning talking,
Okay.
asking a guy if it's okay.
Yeah.
If
No.
he
No.
Yep.
No. Yep. You're good.
You
Thank you
remember
for
that, right?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay. All right. I just want to explain myself in case you didn't know. And, Devo knows what happened in my chat. I think
Okay.
April might have been there. But I know you trust me, but I want to explain myself because
You're good. You're good,
I'm
Smitty.
respectable. So
All right.
I didn't ban him. I did 24 hours. Now it's, you do what you want to do,
Yep.
you get the final say. That's basically all I need to say.
Okay, Smitty. Thank you.
Hey, you're welcome, man. Everything good?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I won't derail your stream. Have a good one, man.
You too, brother.
I do that to my own. I can only derail one stream at a time. Take care, man.
All right, you too. Bye, Smitty.
Bye.
Good guy right there. Very good guy. Have a good one, Jasunki. Well, I want to thank everybody for being here. Tomorrow is trivia night. So those of you who want to become a member and join All Things Serious, you're more than welcome. Tomorrow is trivia night. So I am doing 30 questions of music, 70s, 80s, and 90s tomorrow night. I will have 30 questions. So if you want to join All Things Serious, give me just a second. And you have an iPhone, you have to click this link. They should give you one no matter what. What's going on, Diane? How you doing? Good seeing you back. I'm just glad everybody was able to make it. Just let you know, tomorrow night, trivia night. I think I'm going to go a little bit earlier because it's 30 questions. So I'm probably going to go a little bit earlier than 8:30. So be prepared. I'll let you guys know ahead of time. I'll post a stream hours ahead of time so you guys can be prepared. So, but all right. Thank you guys for joining me here. I appreciate you guys. And if I still have the energy, you will see me here at 2:30 in the morning. No, the trivia is in the evening time. Not in the morning time, the evening time. So I love you guys. You guys are an amazing group of people. Thank you for being here. And I will see you members tomorrow, probably about 7:30. I will see you all then. Take care, my friends. All Things Serious out.